coolersonsale.com here for our best of the best ice challenge. We've had a ton of comments based on our past video reviews asking for specific models of coolers, specific brands of coolers. So we've done our best to try to provide a lineup of those specific coolers so you guys can see how does this cooler perform against that one. So quick rundown, everyone wanted to see a smaller version of the Orca because the Orca 58 here has been one of our top performers in every ice challenge we've done. So we've got a 40 quart in a bright pink. That's our first cooler. Next up is the nICE. This is in a seafoam green 45 quart cooler. Next up is a TechniIce. This cooler was requested a lot. A lot of people wanted to see this TechniIce. It's a really solid cooler, but surprisingly really light to move around. That's a 47 quart cooler. We have also the Sub-Z. A lot of people asked about this Sub-Z. It also comes with wheels. We haven't put the wheels on yet. We'll do that in a separate video. We'll screw the wheels on, and it also has a handle. We have the Engel 50 quart. This is another cooler that's been in every one of our ice challenges. Again, one of the top performers. It's always Orca and Engel going to the end of these ice challenges, so we've included that as kind of a baseline. Next up is a Kysek. We've had a lot of people ask about this Kysek cooler. We finally got our hands on one. This is a 50-liter cooler, which translates to 52.8 quarts. So that's in the lineup. This one also has recessed wheels on the side. The Orca 58 we've already talked about. This is one of the top performing coolers. We filled that one to capacity, thrown it in the mix to compare how does the 58 stack up against the 40 quart by the same company, the Orca. Last but not least is the Siberian. This is one of our really popular coolers in our first 5-day ice challenge. Siberian has come out with a new line of coolers. This is their Alpha series. This is a 65 quart cooler. Just came out, so we added this. This is going to be the biggest cooler in this particular lineup. Scene is set here. We're going to leave the coolers out here all day, all night in this particular lineup because we found it provides even sunlight exposure. You'll see that they're all spaced out a little bit, so one cooler is not casting a shadow on another one. That's been another comment. We're going to rotate the beverages 3 times a day. We put 2 cans of Coke on the top of every cooler so that you can see as the ice melts, and we move them from top to bottom, bottom to top 3 times a day to simulate actual use. All the coolers have been pre-chilled for 24 hours, and then we retop them back up with ice. As you saw us do, there's a pretty significant amount of ice melt in that 24-hour pre-chill. Now the coolers are brought down in temperature and they start to level out. So the scene is set here. We're gonna take temperature readings throughout the day. We've already seen yesterday the tops of some of these coolers are reaching as high as 140 degrees. That Sub-Z reached 140 degrees during the pre-chill. So really hot. It's already reading 91 degrees on the top of this soft-sided cooler. We're also simultaneously running a soft-sided cooler, so check that out on our YouTube channel. This is the lineup. We'll have a full description of the specifications of every cooler that we have in this lineup in the description below this video, as well as on coolersonsale.com, and we will also have individual reviews of each cooler or on the website. If you have a specific question about a cooler, check the website, check the YouTube channel. We've probably already answered it because, like I said, this is a result of all our viewers. They wanted to see these coolers. If there's a cooler not in this lineup that you want to see tested, please give us a comment below, send us an email, let us know. We'll try to pull that together. We are starting day 1 right now. We'll check back in through halfway through the day to rotate the beverages, then again at night, and we'll be back tomorrow morning. 6 full days are in the book, and we finally had 2 coolers drop out. Yesterday afternoon, which puts that at about between 5 and 5.5 days, the nICE ran out of ice, and this morning the Sub-Z was out of ice. So we can say between 5.5 and 6 days. Still quite cool inside, 47 degrees internally, so somewhere in the middle of the night, because last night it did still have ice in it. The rest of the coolers still have ice. The Orca is probably going to go out this evening or tomorrow morning. There's not that much ice in there, but the rest of of them are rock solid, and that's after 6 full days. Pretty extreme heat. For these coolers to even go 5 days is really impressive. So pretty good showing so far. We'll check back halfway through the day and then again this evening, and be back tomorrow morning for 7 full days. 7-day update, and we've lost 2 since we've last spoke. Yesterday afternoon, the Orca 40 quart ran out of ice, so we'll put that at about 6.5 days. And this morning, the Engel 50 quart has literally like 1 or 2 slivers of ice. So we've went 7 full days on the Engel, very similar to what we've experienced in our past ice challenges with the Engel. So the most impressive note to take away is the TechniIce still has ice after a week, and this is one of the smallest coolers that we have in the ice challenge. Really impressed by that cooler. And the larger coolers, the Kysek still has a ton of ice left in it, and the Siberian has even more ice in it. Again, the largest cooler in the ice challenge. We'll be back tomorrow morning for a full 8-day update. 8 full days are in the books. We've completed 8 full days, and finally 2 more coolers have checked out. The Orca 58 ran out of ice last night, and this morning the TechniIce 47 quart cooler ran out of ice. Both internal temperatures are really cold. TechniIce about 45, Orca about 47, but again, the TechniIce still did have ice in it last night. The Kysek and the Siberian still have ice in them after 8 days. It's pretty ridiculous to go that length of time considering the temperatures that we've had for the past week. I anticipate that the Kysek will run out this evening, and Siberian probably tomorrow morning, if not this evening. But the takeaway for 8 full days is I never thought I'd see the day where a smaller size cooler outlasts that Orca 58. That Orca 58 has been our go-to for the best cooler that we've had. It's held ice the best. So thank you so much to the viewers who suggested in the comments on YouTube to test the TechniIce as well as the Kysek, because they performed just as you guys have said. Really incredible performance from both of these coolers. We'll be back tomorrow morning for 9 full days and see how it shakes out between this Kysek and Siberian. CoolersOnSale.com here for the ending of the best ice challenge. Finally, after 9 full days, we've reached the end of the test. Actually, it was yesterday evening that the test ran out. So the Kysek ran out yesterday afternoon about 1 p.m. and the Siberian went to about 5:30, 6 p.m. So an extra 4 or 5 hours on the Siberian, but again, we got to remember that this is larger than the Kysek. So keep that in mind. Incredible performance by all of these coolers. Every cooler went 5 days. It has been extremely hot, as you can see. It's only 9 o'clock and I'm already sweating. And every day the lids of these coolers were hitting over 100 degrees. Ambient temperatures were in the 90s. Opening them 3 times a day. For them to go this long is, I'm glad I called this challenge the best of the best, because it really was. And again, I want to say thank you to all of our viewers and commenters that suggested we get these coolers. We're going to have a full write-up of this entire ice challenge and break down who lasted the longest, as well as individual reviews of each cooler. And we will have the results directly after this video listing who lasted the longest. Thanks for watching. Don't forget to subscribe. Give us a thumbs up. It's what keeps us going. And here come the results.